Hey sports fans, almost forgot this week to do my picks. Week 17 in football. The last week before the playoffs. Here we go. Alright, got a lot of good games this week. The first one has some big playoff implications. It's the Jets versus Buffalo. Buffalo won their first meeting and it was at the Jets. Obviously, they're two New York teams. I don't know how much home field advantage is there, but you almost want to pick Buffalo here because of their previous win and because it's at Buffalo. But honestly, the way that the Jets are playing right now, it's kind of hard to pick against them. They just beat New England last week. I'm going to go with the Jets on this one. Jets win over Buffalo and keep their playoff spot. Now, if they lose and then Pittsburgh wins, that would give it to Pittsburgh. So that's pretty big deal. So obviously they're going to want to win this one. Alright. Next is New England at Miami. I don't think this is going to be too hard. But you never know. New England's lost some weird games this year. I don't know why, but going with New England. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Baltimore obviously beat Pittsburgh last week by a field goal. This is another in-conference game. I'm not going to go with Baltimore on this one, though. I think A.J. McCarron's got enough to win this game for him. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Obviously, they really want to win. This is their last chance to get into the playoffs. They need to win, plus the Jets lose. Pittsburgh's going to win, but unfortunately the Jets will win as well. Pittsburgh doesn't get in the playoffs. Jacksonville at Houston. Even with a loss here, Houston, it's not likely that Indianapolis will take over, but it is possible. So they're going to be playing pretty hard. Blake Bortles is looking really like he's kind of figuring out this offense down the stretch, but it's not going to be enough to stop Houston. I think that J.J. Watt's going to have a good game, and Houston's going to take this one even with their third-string quarterback. Tennessee at Indianapolis. I tossed and turned over this one for a long time, and I think Tennessee has been playing pretty bad. Indianapolis has been playing pretty bad. But I think what's going to happen is Indianapolis' defense is just going to give up too many points, and Tennessee's going to win this one in a close game. Washington at Dallas. Washington doesn't really have anything to play for. They did say that they are not going to start Kirk Cousins, but I still think it's going to be enough to beat Dallas. I'm going with Washington. Philadelphia at the New York Giants. This is another one I really thought about a lot. Got Philadelphia winning some big games, and then obviously the Giants have been playing okay, and Odell Beckham comes back this week. So neither team is really that great. Neither team has got anything to play for. Philadelphia just lost their head coach, so I'm going to go with the Giants on this one. Detroit at Chicago, another in-conference game. Neither team has anything to play for. But I think the Bears have the pieces to this puzzle that the Lions just don't have. Lions is going that nice run early in the season, but it's not going to happen. Chicago's going to win this one. I got New Orleans at Atlanta. Atlanta obviously had a big win over Carolina last week. If this was at New Orleans, I would probably pick New Orleans, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Atlanta. I think they got a lot of momentum going into this one, and they'll take this one again. Right, I got Tampa Bay at Carolina. Obviously, I'm pretty excited for this game. Carolina lost their first game of the season last week. We win this. We have home field advantage through the playoffs. If we lose and Arizona wins, they get it. So it's really important for us. We want to have a home field advantage, especially in the NFC Championship game. It's going to be a hard game. Right now I'm thinking it's going to be Carolina, Arizona. I don't think anybody's going to beat either team. So it's going to be a really good NFC Championship game. And honestly, I'm pretty nervous that Arizona might take it. So Carolina's going to want to win this one to have every advantage they can get. Oakland at Kansas City. Kansas City Chiefs playing really great football. Oakland's not going to have enough to take them down. Kansas City Chiefs. San Diego at Denver. Denver obviously is going to be playing pretty hard. I think if they lose and Kansas City wins, Kansas City gets the division. I'm not 100% sure. I think Denver is going to be playing pretty hard in this one. San Diego's a pretty bad team, so Denver takes it. Seattle at Arizona. This is another great game, divisional game. Seattle definitely has what it takes to take them down, but they've shown in the division that they can lose quite a few games. They lost to St. Louis last week. Really, it didn't look very good. I'm gonna go with Arizona on this one. I think they'll have what it takes to beat them, especially since it's at home. St. Louis at San Francisco, another divisional game, but St. Louis has been looking pretty good. San Francisco is garbage this year, so I'm going to go with the St. Louis Rams. All right, then we have our Monday night game, Minnesota at Green Bay. This is a huge game. Winner takes the division. Loser goes to the playoffs still, but in a wild card spot. So Green Bay is going to be looking to win this one. They haven't been playing too well. They haven't been playing complete football. But I do think that they will win this one at Lambeau. The weather's going to be cold, so they should be good. All right. Also, points on that game, if you do pick'ems, I'm going with 50. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring, not too high scoring, but it should be pretty far up there. All right. I do want to mention my last video that I just put up. I mentioned that there wasn't any other honors to talk about. Obviously, there's two other big ones, and they honor so many other things as well. But the two other ones I just want to touch on real quick: Coach of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year. Now, obviously, Coach of the Year, my pick is either going to be Ron Rivera or Bruce Arians. I think the two best teams in the league are Arizona and Carolina. I think whoever goes to the Super Bowl will win. So, they also have the two best coaches in the league. Pretty much hands down, if you ask me. Obviously, Bill Belichick is always in the conversation because he's one of the greatest coaching minds of all time. But I just don't think this year they've really had it throughout all the injuries and everything. So, obviously, my pick is Ron Rivera. One loss. I think he'll stay one loss. That's a big deal. I think he'll win Coach of the Year as well. Next is the Comeback Player of the Year. Really want to make a shout out to this one to Ryan Fitzpatrick. When you look across the board, there might be some people you can mention, but he wasn't even supposed to start this year, and he's done an amazing job with a broken hand, I might add, racking up some wins for the Jets. Definitely think he's Comeback Player of the Year. Just want to shout out them real quick. All right, so that's all I have for today. I'm a guy talking. You were here listening. Thanks for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe anyway, then like it again. That sort of thing. We'll see you next time. Next time we'll be talking about playoffs. That's right, playoffs.